What is up, my beautiful YouTube family? My name is Jakeb Livengood. I'm an internet entrepreneur. This is my 2020 year in review video. If you haven't watched my 2019 one, watch that first before watching this one, and let's dive in. So, I'm going to break down my year into 4 columns: health, wealth, love, and happiness, just as I did last time, because I feel like it's an easy way to summarize and wrap things up. Let's see. Well, coming into 2020, I was living in my parents' basement, still scaling my 3 e-commerce companies. Going into 2019, I had 1 e-commerce company, so there was a lot of growth in the 2019, and then in 2020, everyone knows what happened in March of 2020, and a lot of people use that as an excuse to slow down, take it easy, write the year off. 2020 is a loss of a year, whatever. Okay, I didn't do that. I doubled down. I really just got real serious about everything that I was doing. Not that I wasn't serious before. I was very serious before, but I got real serious. And then come May of 2020, because of all the work that I was doing on my social media presence and my high income skills, such as e-commerce and, everything along that avenue, the CEO of a major gloving company did find me. We started talking. I flew out to meet him in San Diego upon his request. He slid into my DMs. I flew out the next day. He determined upon a conversation with me and me giving him a little piece of investment advice that ended up making him mid 5 figures. He decided I was the guy for the job. And so he hired me. I moved out of my parents' basement, which I was in for the previous 2 years, scaling my e-commerce companies, talking to my social media about personal development, reading books, online business. Moved out of their basement into a garage. I now live in a garage, yet I've never been more abundant or blessed or prosperous in my life. This is just a stepping stone in the process, and I'm the one that chose to be in the garage because I was the team player. Someone had to do it, and I have bigger fish to fry. This doesn't bother me at all, and I actually love it because I love being from the perspective of, others seeing me as the underdog. I absolutely love when people talk trash to me on the internet about me being a loser that lives in a garage, because all that's telling me is that they don't understand financial literacy or living below your means or being an intelligent investor. So I find it funny, and it's just a stepping stone, like I said. So yeah, I had abundant breakthroughs on the physical plane in 2020, early mid 2020, mid quarter 2, right? And then I just kept scaling, along with that career jump. It was the first time where I was managing and running, managing and running an organization outside of something that I own completely and outright, in the sense that, I did network marketing before, but my largest team that I ever had was 4 people that I was, helping, coaching, growing. Now having a team of 130 affiliates with 8 employees, and, I'm one of the people in prime leadership, so people look up to me. It's a lot of responsibility to adopt, but, I've never felt more ready for a position, and I feel like it has caused me to grow abundantly very quickly, and I've got big shoes to fill, but I feel as though I'm doing a great job at it, and every day I get better at that. So let's dive into it because I don't want it to be too long. So health. Okay, in the health category, huge things. Okay, I started doing a lot more practices that were beneficial to me in the long term, i.e. meditating every day and not missing it ever. Okay, 200 push-ups a day and sit-ups, not missing that. I haven't done that the last 2 months because, my shoulders and these areas right here were just bothering me a lot, and I actually use this little heat sock for muscle tension relief in my back. So I've been off that stitch for a while, but eating healthier, Okay, I cut out soda completely from my diet. I'm still not on the healthiest diet that I'd like to see myself doing, but there's always room for improvement. I'm no longer drinking soda. I eat out maybe once a week, primarily cooking my own meals. One, it's more cost effective and it's healthier. So, and I'm learning a skill, which is cooking and fending for myself, which is a beautiful thing. Spiritual practices I've adopted, and I got far more long-term vision in the year of 2020. I live in a garage, and I don't pay myself from any of my businesses, despite having made over $200,000 gross since starting back in early 2018 now. And I'm not going to show you proof in this video, but feel free to stalk me on social media and find all the proof that you need. I've decided that I no longer need to validate or prove myself to other people through, external goods, right? I could buy a Rolex right now. In fact, I really do want one, but it's just not the most financially wise decision that I could make at this point in my process, because that money would be better allocated into like actual capital gains and buying inventory. You win some, you lose some. It's all coming in divine timing. And, where I am now starting 2021, it's not the same place I was starting 2020. I'm a completely different individual, just as I was from 2019 going into 2020. Wealth. Okay, let's dive into that. Wealth. I did get this position with Throw Lights and Candy Creation, which is a gloving company, which is truly remarkable and it's beautiful, because gloving is a major passion of mine. It's a major artistic passion of mine, but I've now managed to put myself in a position where I can leverage my business skills and my high income skills and incorporate in my passions and my artistic hobbies. So it's very, very awesome. It's some would say my Ulerian destiny, and by some I would say me. But I did manage to 6x the Throw License Corporation in the year of 2020. Coming in middle quarter two, I 6x'd their revenue from the previous year. I'm not going to go into the numbers of what that is, because that is not my right. We do have investors, so we have outside interests that I just can't be airing out that on social media. Can't talk about it. But what I can talk about is my businesses. My main business, my first business, Fresh Dynamic, my first online retailer, it did have a 64% pullback this year, down. And by this year, I mean 2020, which I'm filming this January 15th of 2021, which is kind of funny, kind of ironic, because I filmed my 2019 year in review video on January 15th, 2020. So I don't know what it is with me in 115, but something about it, right? A 64% pullback, kind of unfortunate, but given that I 12x'd my business from 2018 to 2019, I'm not really concerned about the 64% pullback, just because it doesn't really matter. I'm in the process. I'm playing the long-term game. Yes, it's unfortunate that the earnings weren't quite as high in my own personal department, but the growth and the abundance that I've managed to build in Throw Lights Incorporation kind of offsets that pullback. And besides, it does kind of make sense. I haven't gotten to the scale yet where I have VAs, virtual assistants, running my business. So given that I stepped away from its direct management to focus my attention more on the startup of Throw Lights and Candy, it just makes perfect sense that there was a pullback. Now that pullback, again, 64%, very substantial, but because of the way that I've designed my lifestyle, I live far, 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 far below my means of, what I'm capable of living with the assets that I've managed to build and grow over the last 3 years. So I am still very, very wealthy. I'm not rich, but I am very wealthy. I have broken down the difference and the key distinctions between those in a video. Feel free to look that up. It's very important, vital information there. But as far as the wealth department, summing it up, big pullback for me specifically, but for all of my businesses collectively, no pullback at all. In fact, we're right on trucking along. And like I predicted in my 2019 year in review video, saying that 2020 was going to be the year of my quantum leaps beginning to go parabolic, that was absolutely correct. And, some may argue that that's not the case because I don't have material possessions and I live in a garage, but those people are 100% not focused or paying attention to the right stuff. I'm growing and evolving and becoming a completely different individual, and I'm not where I was. You can just see that from looking at the content that I've produced. So that's wealth. And then also touching on wealth, despite having not paid myself a substantial amount, because of the prosperity and the blessings, I know that 2020 has been a very, very, very challenging year for many. And despite that, I've still just been progressively breaking barriers and moving forward. I've been giving back more than ever. In fact, I gave back in excess of 200% the salary that I paid myself this year in Xbox giveaways, glove set giveaways, sending people money randomly on Venmo or Cash App with little nice positive notes on them, with no expectation of return, right? Tony Robbins says the secret to living is giving, and it is so true, okay? The level of fulfillment and happiness you get from giving something to someone with no expectation of it coming back to you is so beautiful, and it's incredible. It's incredible. And the funny thing about it is, right, Tony Robbins' little thing, the secret to living is giving, it's so true, because when you do give without expectation of return, the universe has a real funny way of bringing that back to you, i.e., when I was representing Faith Melt Crew, Amazing Lights Elite Artist Team at Decadence of 2019, I met a girl there who lost her gloves right in front of me. They got stolen from her, actually, because they were just not in her purview for approximately 3.5 seconds, and some non-plur butthead came by, stole the gloves. I resonated with that situation so much that I ended up giving her a pair of my Spectras, $150 Bluetooth pair of gloves. I had two, so just got interrupted by my gratitude alarm. I have an alarm in my phone to remind me to be grateful every day. But I had two pairs of Spectras, and I resonated with that situation so much that I just gave her a pair of my Spectras, and then lo and behold, 4 months later, 5 months later, I'm now leveraging my high income skills in that very industry that I'm so passionate about, and it's very poetic, to say the least. The universe is quite a trip. But that's wealth, right? Given back, because that leads to more abundance and prosperity, despite the wealth in my own personal field not being there necessarily. But it's not there by choice. I still need to make a video about delayed gratification. I said I was going to do that. It didn't come to pass. It's coming, I assure you. Now, next category, love, okay? If you watch my 2019 year in review, which I hope that you do, before watching this, it'll give you more context of, how far I've gotten in the last 2 years. But I haven't dated in well over 2.5 years now. In the wake of a very devastating breakup, I came to know myself. I made some necessary life-altering decisions, changing my path and getting onto a better path, discovering myself, and coming to know the ability of what I am capable of through growth, entrepreneurship, personal development, spiritual success, all these things. Still doing that. But in 2020, through my spiritual practices and the betterment of myself, I've come to this new place where my divine partner is coming. I know that for a fact. When? Don't know. I'm not pressuring it. I'm not pushing it. I'm not seeking it at all, because I know that the best thing that I can do for myself is just focus on my own betterment and my own development, and my divine partner will make herself known to me, in divine timing. No rush on it at all. I've never been more bliss throughout 2020. I came to this place where I've never been more bliss and more happy with myself, and been full of self-love, to the point where I don't need, I don't feel that it's even relevant or necessary for me to have someone that is a partner to me. I'm completely whole in and of myself. I do daily affirmations every day, and all these things, all these positive beliefs that I've set into my mind over the last year. Just got a call that interrupted me again. I am having a lot of challenges making this video. That's crazy. But as I was saying, okay, all these self-love techniques and these affirmations that I programmed into my mind over the last year, 2 years, 3 years have really paid off to this point where, okay, I am completely abstinent. I don't seek pleasure through, meaningless sex or all these stupid things, right? I have never had more women in my DMs all the time, and so unaffected and unfazed by it, because I've come to this new level of awareness where, like, 99% of women, in fact, probably a little bit higher than that, they are not capable of sustaining a relationship with a high vibrational, high performing man. So a lot of these women that are in my DMs trying to get at me all the time, they're just energy vampires. And, I can see right through all of that. I literally see it with my mind. And so I'm not bothered. I actually kind of find it funny because, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that's not where my headspace was at all. So the love department, I know my divine partner will come in due time, in divine timing. But in the meantime, all I can do is focus on the betterment of myself through entrepreneurship, personal development, and building and growing everything that I'm doing. Last pillar, happiness. Okay. What I wrote here, I'm just going to read what I wrote because this is awesome, right? I have this whole spiel of everything from each pillar. What I wrote in happiness is, this year has taught me so much. I have grown incredible amounts and accomplished many things that have concreted the foundation I've built for myself. I have created a powerful attitude of gratitude this year that has begun revealing blessings into my life. My dreams are coming true in divine timing, and I learned to trust and have faith this year. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Okay, so happiness, attitude of gratitude, what am I talking about? Okay, through having a understanding of the universal laws, which I did a 40-minute masterclass on my Instagram. I'm probably going to do a masterclass on YouTube, maybe even break down each universal law separately. But through having an understanding of the universal laws and then implementing those into my life, I have reached this new level where I'm fully fulfilled every day. I'm literally living my dreams. Now, while I may have no material possessions, I don't have that Lamborghini that I've been aspiring to have since I was 9 years old. I live in a garage, right? I don't have that Rolex that I want, right? I'm working 16 hours a day, right? And not that the work's hard. I actually love what I do, and I'm skilled in it. But ideally, I don't want to be sitting in front of a computer 16 hours a day. But it's all a part of the process, and I've learned to fall in love with the process. I absolutely love where I'm at because I know that this is necessary. The molding and the development that shapes you in your process is what makes you the person that, is worthy of all those blessings and all that abundance that you have at the end game of your process, right? So I know, because through the last 3 years of going through this process and, people hating on me at every level of the way, telling me you're never going to be anything, you live in your parents' basement, you're not going to become anything, get a real job, you sold both your vehicles, you can't really be successful working on the internet, and then just continually breaking through those things, continually hearing more and more background chatter from people doing less than me. I know from the last 3 years of my process that it's all already done. I already am a multimillionaire. I'm already a mogul in real estate, entrepreneurship, through e-commerce, teaching and coaching others. I'm a YouTuber with 10 million subscribers. I have that fleet of exotic cars that I dream of. I know that it is all done already. despite it not looking like it in the outer version of reality right now, where I don't have any material possessions, I live in a garage, I don't pay myself a salary, I know that it's already done because I'm just in the process. And, you know, there will be pullbacks, there will be challenges along the way. Of course, I've seen those. I've continued to, you know, face those and just bulldoze right through those walls. But I know that it's already done because I'm not going to quit. Nothing can stop me from where I'm going because I'm already well on my way. I've already proven to myself that I'm capable of anything through this process. And largely in 2020, I found faith again. I am a faith-driven entrepreneur, and if you don't believe in God, religion, whatever it is, that's A-okay. I'm not one to push my beliefs onto others, but I listen to sermons every single day, and that is something that helps me keep tuned and locked into my attitude of gratitude. And I cry gratitude tears every day. I literally sob my eyes out every single day of my life. Not 24 hours goes by where I don't bawl my eyes out, not from sadness, but from sheer gratitude that I've actually come as far as I have so far already from where I was in 2017, 2016, 2015, right? I didn't really start doing any kind of entrepreneurship until about 2017, early 2017, February. So to see where I've already come from there, every day I am beyond grateful for what I've already managed to accomplish, which is, it's crazy to me. And that's why I can say with such confidence that it's already done. I know that those huge goals that I have of mine, they're on the way. They're literally on the way in divine timing. And I'm not rushing it at all. Whoop, caught that. I'm not rushing it at all because it's already coming. And I know that because, working in the industry of gloving, something I'm majorly passionate about, and working in the industry, leveraging my high income skills, I could have never seen it coming. But after it came to pass and looked up at my vision board, it was not so clearly stated up there. Very, very indescriptly, but boom, it plugged right into the vision board. And I was like, wow, it's divine. It truly is. And so that's the year in review. Let's talk about some bad things, right? Because my life's not cheery, rosy, and sunshine lollipops all the time, because that's not what the process is. It's actually very, 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 very challenging. Okay, so some of the bad things that I have dealt with this year, that 64% pullback in my business in the wealth category, in my first business. The reason I was able to 12x my business in 2019 was because I leveraged my 810 credit score at 21 years old, leveraged it, opened up 15 credit cards, 0% interest. It's good debt. And what unfortunately happened was, because of the virus that should not be named on YouTube, right? Because that came to pass, I didn't get to open that 30, 60, 90 accounts with my business accounts in time. Didn't get the business credit necessary to build up business credit on my EIN alone in a timely fashion. Unfortunately, what that meant for me is I did have to file bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy, which, a lot of people are really confused as to what bankruptcy is. It's actually not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of like a fresh start. And honestly, they don't touch your businesses, anything that's your EIN. It's a totally separate entity. So I'm going to dive deeper into that and how it's like I'm basically in New Game Plus now. I've got the experience. I've learned from my mistakes. And now I'm in a position where I can now jettison and rocket launch off to new levels. Another thing, perhaps the worst thing that happened this year, my cat, my pet, my companion, I'm literally gonna cry just talking about this. Oh my gosh. My cat was an indoor-outdoor cat. Holy cow, my eyes are really watering. This is hard to talk about. I live in a garage, right? So I would crack the garage open because he would pee on my stuff and my bed and stuff when I wouldn't let him out. And about 3 months after I moved here, he just didn't come back. And so yeah, so I lost my cat. That's not cool. It's probably the hardest part of the year. Um, but yeah, what a terrible way to end this video. But there were some goods. A lot of goods. A lot of breakthroughs. 2021 is already proving to be just as challenging as 2020 was, but I see huge things on the horizon, and this year will be the year where I have parabolic shifts in my social media presence, and I already know that to be true because I managed to double my YouTube audience this year in 2020, and I also doubled my Instagram audience in 2020. So I know that in 2021, if I can double it again, that will put me in the sphere of being being in the YouTube partnership program on YouTube. So I'll be an official YouTuber, and if I can double my Instagram again, that'll put me right around the 20,000 follower mark, which is that's enough to be able to have some sphere of influence, to be able to build credibility out into other things such as, my YouTube. So yeah, ultimately the process, entrepreneurship, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm documenting my growth and my development as it comes, as it happens, because I'm going to leave up all my content, and when I become successful on the outer plane, when I have all these grandiose, wild things, these lavish lifestyle things, Lamborghinis, multimillionaire through real estate and e-commerce, right? When I have all these things and people start calling me an overnight success, I'm just going to refer them to my old content. I'm going to leave it up so that it can all still be seen in the timeline as things lay out. The process of entrepreneurship is not what you think that it is through people's social media, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, people that aren't real. They're not really winning. They're not really doing entrepreneurship. And they make their money by renting Lamborghinis and selling a course on information that they don't actually do. That's a fake teacher. There's a lot of those out there, a lot. So make sure that who you're watching and what you're paying attention to, what you're feeding your mind, is necessary information that is valuable and applicable. And that's my 2020 year in review. This video was substantially longer than I wanted it to be, and far more emotional than I wanted it to be. I experienced major blessings and breakthroughs this year. My life starting to show external results of all the hard work I've been putting into my development over the last few years in the form of a position of leadership in an industry in the flow space. Given the understanding of a parabolic arc that is growth, and seeing and feeling where I am now, I know that 2020 is going to bring incredible blessings that ultimately move me further in the direction of my long-term vision. So, yeah, still leather bound with the journal and planner. I don't think I'm ever going back to college ruled notebooks, because leather bound is the way. And I found true balance through my understanding and application of the universal laws. So that's it. I'm going to level up my social media, specifically YouTube, substantially this year, in that it's just going to be higher film quality, that's going to be more entertaining to watch, as well as more valuable. All my content's going to be value-based, because I want people to have a key takeaway from all my content, so that they feel as though they've made some mental improvements each time they walk away from one of my videos. And then also, I really do aspire to be a moto vlogger, and that's coming. It really is. It's coming soon, actually. So I'm very grateful if you stuck around and listened to the whole thing. That's my 2020 year in review. If you didn't have the best 2020, it was challenging for you, you didn't have any quantifiable leaps or breakthroughs in your life, do not kick yourself, okay? each person's process is different. The important thing is that you are focused on your development and your betterment, and that you actually are pursuing something that you're passionate about, as opposed to just following the cookie cutter way that, you know, society tells you to follow. Do something that you love and can develop a passion for, and therefore you'll have long-term fulfillment in your life. And you know, if it's something worth building and scaling through, and it's something that you are passionate about, chances are it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but it will be worth it. So that's all I have for you. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Keep winning, stay motivated, stay blessed.